So you can see in here the leveling kit, it just goes on top of the strut. This one says it was 2.5 inches, which is what I measured. Basically measured from the top of the tire to the bottom of the fender on the front and the back, and then just took that difference. It was 2.5 inch difference. I like it to be perfectly level, so I went with the 2.5 inch kit for that reason. Pretty basic if you've ever done one of these before, but you got these 3 nuts up here you have to take off. Take off the right there upper ball joint nut, and crawling underneath here, take off the sway bar end link right here, and you can pull out the brake line where it connects right here. You can pull that off, just give yourself a little more slack. That kind of takes the pressure off of the strut. So at that point, you know, I had it jacked up under here, and a jack stand underneath the frame. I was able to let that down, let all the tension off of it. At that point, usually I'm able to take off the 2 nuts down here, the bottom of the control arm, and drop that strut assembly out completely. Every other leveling kit I've ever done, that's all I've had to do. Plenty of room to work with. Put the leveling kit spacer on top of the strut, bolt it right back in, throw everything back together, and take it in for an alignment. This one, I struggled with this side for probably an hour and absolutely could not get that strut out. There just wasn't room to even take the strut out, much less put it back in with a spacer on top. I mean, there was just no way that was going to happen. So what I ended up having to do, which I didn't really want to do, but there was no choice, was I had to actually take out the lower control arm bolts. So this one here and that one on that side, I had to take those out completely, let that lower control arm just hang there. That took all the tension off of the strut. Then I was able to take it out, put the spacer on. You've actually flipped the strut around. That way the holes all line up off of that spacer back into your strut tower up there. And then bolt everything back together. Super, super easy. Had I done that from the beginning, it probably would have taken half an hour a side, per side of the truck. But like I said, it took me probably a good hour to figure out that I needed to do that. So figured I'd shoot this video to kind of anybody that's having the same struggle, help you out and let you know you're probably going to have to do that as well. And then 100% get that thing in immediately for an alignment, because once you take that lower control arm off, it is going to be way out of alignment. As you can see, where the bolt used to be from the factory versus where it is now, you know, pretty good difference there. So but they were able to get it all dialed in and good to go. So I hope that helps. I will put a link to the spacer kit that I used. Solid aluminum. I'm happy with it. So truck looks a lot better. I'll try to find a before and after picture as well to show you the difference. Thanks for watching.